made natural sense to make it the second single. If it had been ready in time, maybe I could have made it the first single, but I didn't want it to lose its momentum by the time the EP came out because I felt like it was a really special song. So, and it performed excellently. Um, I've never gotten so many positive praises that were like calling on me being an innovator or calling on Zoll being an innovator and just praising our joint capacities. I've gotten some of the most diverse, some of the most intense, both positive and negative feedback for the song. And it's just something that I wouldn't have accomplished had I not taken the chance on an artist who is as great as Zoll is. So shout out to him. Again, that's Xeoul. I believe his screen name is I am Xeoul. Just search Xeoul in the search bar and you'll be able to find him. He's a great artist and stuff on the way, but I don't want to spoil it, so I'll leave it there. Okay. I'm gonna get to the other 3 songs that are on the EP. These songs were not singles, although one of them is like a promo single, and they are Vista, York, and oh my god, I always forget when I'm in the midst of like the promotional campaign. It's Vista. Oh my god, Vista, X, and York. Got it. Got it. Succeeded. Yep. Vista, I kind of wanted to build upon, if some of you remember, I released a single last year called Moonlight. And Moonlight was received after I released Nova. I kind of gotten some lukewarm reviews about the songs on Nova. Although I got positive feedback from the listeners, a lot of the gatekeepers and the bloggers and stuff like that it wasn't necessarily their vibe. But when I came out with Moonlight a couple months later, that showed that I was on the pathway to, I was in the right direction. And that by incorporating dance music, I could find fun and explorative ways of incorporating more developed melodies and just more developed soundscapes into my sound. However, with Moonlight, I don't feel like I went as far as I could have gone when I made it because it was like my first song that I made in that style. Using a sampler, using a lot of mixtures of found sounds, a lot of mixed fidelity techniques where I'm mixing high fidelity noises with low fidelity noises, with royalty free samples, with my own samples. And I feel like there was 8 or 9 different samples that were all kind of combined for Moonlight. So it was very minimal, but also very extensive. With Vista, I wanted to just evolve that. I wanted to make it something that you could hear in the club. I don't even know if I should say this. I'm expecting to do some kind of performances next year, like in person. So when I started this EP, I kind of also wanted to have some tracks on there that could go off in the club, that could bump in the club, like, yes, and Vista is one of those. One for my Rainbow family, because of our connection to ballroom music and ballroom culture. It definitely has some ballroom inspirations there, but it's definitely rooted in lo-fi house music and Chicago house, and it pays homage to that deeper house sound that came out of Chicago, and that is kind of being experimented with and revolutionized right now. I'm so honored to be participating in lo-fi house in any way, and to have been received as well as I have by that community when leaning in for the first time the way I have with Vista. So that's kind of how Vista came to be. I wanted to build up on Moonlight. I wanted to incorporate the lo-fi house sound in a way that felt authentic to me, and I wanted to see if people would really connect with me exploring that element of dance music. That still feels, like I said, it feels very authentic to me, but still makes some of that, that dance floor, you could play this in a club kind of concession, So that was Vista. Now, I guess, like I said, that was kind of like a promo single. I've been using that as a promo single since the release of the EP, but the 2 kind of deep cuts, I would say, are York and X. York is probably the earliest song produced for the EP. It was produced in 2019. It was actually meant for the Traces album that I released in 2019. But I don't know, it just didn't fit the vibes of Traces. And so it just didn't fit the vibe of Traces, and I honestly was about to delete it. I didn't feel like York had enough going on with it relative to the songs that I had put on Traces, I wanted to hold on to it and save it for like what I felt was like a special time where I felt like I could really connect with the song's message and be able to relay that with my head on straight and with, you know, with a clear headspace. And unfortunately, in 2019, that was not that time. As many of you know, I've experienced homelessness, and my experience of homelessness largely began in 2018, but it continued into 2019 and through the beginning of 2020. So when I released Traces, I was kind of trying to focus more on just being a little bit more positive, just trying to create beats that did not, or put out beats that I could wear, that I could promote, that didn't make me feel like depressed. Where I'm at now, York, it makes me reflective, and I hope that it makes you reflective too, but it's not even a sad kind of reflective. It's just I'm at peace, you know? It reminds me of where I was when I was homeless, and the mindset that I was in, and what the future looked like at that time. And York at that time was emblematic of the darkness of the era. But now it's just like wow, I made it. You know? And my Nctrnm tribe, anyone viewing this, anyone who's already in my Nctrnm tribe, y'all are a huge inspiration as to how I made it through that homelessness period of my life. I tried to be as transparent about it as I could as I was going through it, because I wanted to be honest with you guys. And with that in mind, York is like my little memento from that time, my little sign that I made it, you know. Lastly, we have the most dramatic song on the EP, X. It's track 3, but I've kind of gone in a like kind of my own order, just kind of freestyled it. But X was originally supposed to be for a rapper. I produced X in collaboration with a rapper, and the time came for us to work together, and it was a scam. Like, I made the beat for him. We discussed what kind of elements he wanted added to the beat, and then he sent me this check that he expected me to deposit, and the red flags just went up. And I'm just like, damn. Because I was thinking, you know, I've had a lot of like interest from rappers. That would be a great opportunity. This one was a scam. I'm still open to it in the future. Hopefully, like I can link up with a great singer or two, or as many ever as want to work with me, and rapper or two, as many ever want to work with me. But this just wasn't that time, and it was unfortunate. But what I said was, I'm gonna release this beat, not only just to protect myself in case he tries anything, but because the beat is fire and it bops. And the reception that I've gotten from you guys and everyone who's heard it thus far really just affirms that I made the right choice and I had the right perspective when it came to releasing and choosing to put X on this project. It's actually the newest song that's on this project. It's the last song that was made for the project. I was kind of waiting to tie up the EP by waiting for this rapper and by waiting for our like negotiations to go through. But it took so long, and it ended up being so fraudulent that, yeah, it just didn't come through. But hopefully you guys get to hear, like, I guess, a rapper over my beat sometime soon. But yeah, that was basically just, I think that was all the details that I think are relevant for me to share here, that I think are interesting. This EP, I'll be honest, like all my other projects, I could walk away from it saying this was fun pretty much the entire time. And so that made it easy for me to continue through with it. Like, I've released 3 albums already. That's a lot for somebody who's independent, but it didn't feel like it because I was having a lot of fun, and I'm still having a lot of fun now, but I'm so much more devoted to making sure that I am not only having fun, but that I'm giving you guys music and content that you guys can connect with and can make your lives better. That element is so much more balanced and important to me now, you know, that I can honestly say that there were parts of this EP that were less fun than previous EPs. But I fucking love this EP. And I hope you guys love it too, because I put a lot of thought into this one. A lot of the other ones, I just put the work into it, but I can be honest in saying that perhaps I wasn't as thoughtful about it as I could have been. I put so much thought into this EP, and it really warms my heart to see that it's connecting with people how I intended it. Please continue to support it. Please continue to stream it. Buy it if you can. Any kind of purchase that you make goes a long way to supporting me and sending me signals that you really appreciate what I do. I'm still working on the merch store. The original plan was to have it released with the EP, but I kind of liked extending out the release of the merch so that it kind of has like a little bit more specialness to it, a little bit more limited uniqueness to it. But yeah, I'm still working on that. It's a lot of work getting these SKUs and these quantities and these versions and these variations together. I'm getting all that together, making sure that it's set up appropriately, making sure that it's done right. Yeah, so with that in mind, that wraps up this live stream. Please continue to go stream Flux at flux.nctrnm.com. You can also check out the visualizer, which I just dropped yesterday, at fluxv.nctrnm.com. The idea is that it's the Flux visualizer, so it's Flux V, yeah, at nctrnm.com. Or you can also go to nctrnm.com itself, my current website, and you'll be able to access the EP from there too. So with that in mind, I just want to say thank you to everyone who showed up and who is watching this. Talk to you soon.